with sled and see who can make it across the pond. That's a horrible idea.
Well, did you ever now? It's okay at like
Because
Mirror
George
Lake
Bailey might not have been there to get you out.
It's okay at like Mirror Lake and Eden Park. I mean, because that's obviously.
Yeah, but you're not going to end up unless
correct,
you're
that's my
jumping
point.
into it on a ski ramp.
I got to tell you, Ralph, I don't care how cold. I remember back some of those days. Remember when the Ohio River was frozen? People walking.
People driving across it. My grandfather walked across it from Louisville to Indiana.
Did he really?
Yeah.
I got to tell. That is one
right
thing.
Before he drowned.
I don't have Sally's paranoia of water, but I'm not
There's no way
testing
in
to
hell.
see how sturdy the ice is.
No, you're never going to hear me saying that phrase. Let's see how thick this ice is. It's thick. It's not thick enough, is what it is.
I'm kind of with you there. We actually agree on something. That's
how about
big.
that?
How about that?
That's I think that's a first today.
Maybe we should just end on that note and go.
I do believe that's a first today.
This is nothing.
That is nothing.
No, it was worse last week,
Now,
wasn't it?
hold on a minute, Ralph. I saw the darker shade of gray on the most recent radar, which will bring 1 to 2 inches per hour starting around noon.
Yeah.
Just telling you. I love how Ralph bitches at me for getting on these pseudo forecasters. Now he's doing it.
I don't know.
All right, let's give something away, shall we?
Yeah.
How would you like to
Okay.
give something away? All right, let's do it. How would you like to check out the Nigel Dupree Band? We've got a 4-pack of tickets. Tomorrow night, it is the Inner Circle Entertainment Complex, which used to be Annie's. Same place, just different name. You can check it out. All sorts of other bands playing. I think there are 4 other bands. How about that?
Okay.
A night of some good old rock and roll.
Yeah,
on
Rootbound,
Kellogg,
I know.
Rootbound. My favorite, Hearsay.
Terrible heresy.
Get it right.
You were even leaving off the first word in their name.
Yeah.
You were just saying hearsay. It's parable heresy. God.
Are they one
now
band?
I'm getting worked up over that. Yeah,
Yes,
they're one
Ralph.
Not according to my sheet.
Parable
here.
heresy?
You don't put a comma in between, do you? See?
Oh, God.
So don't shoot the messenger. Or actually do in this case. You want to take a call or you want to ask a question?
I just want to go home.
Let's take a caller.
Here's a new term, actually. Apparently, snowpocalypse has been all over the place. Snowaria is a better one.
Ooh, I don't want to have snowaria. That sounds messy.
I like that one.
All right, let's
That
take
sounds
call.
messy.
Let's take caller 8. How about that? To the rock line. 749-9650 513-749-9650. We can't wait to chat with you. It's
be
9:34. I'm Gamble. He's Finn.
I'm Sister Karen. It's STP.
On Cincinnati's Pure Rock 96 Rock.
Gamble and Finn. Mornings on 96 Rock.
$940, congratulations to Jeff Allen of Middletown. He was caller number 8, and he's going to head down to the Inner Circle Entertainment Complex. Check out the Nigel Dupree Band tomorrow night. Tickets are available for that show. It should be a good one, and if nothing else. I love it down. The sound down there cranks it out. Nigel Dupree. If you haven't seen Jesse James Dupree's son and his band, they're very, very good. You will be very entertained. All the info, you can check it out. Ticketmaster.com has all the info. Tickets for sale, all that good stuff.
And the ladies love them some Nigel. So if you want to go down and just
You'll
do
see
some
some
people
ladies.
watching, yes, hello.
How about this story? I don't know whether you've heard this or not, but check this out. This is unbelievable. After an 8-year financial relationship between Adidas and the University of Central Florida, well, that's ended. You know why? Marcus Jordan, son of Michael, insisted on wearing his father's Nike shoes instead of the Adidas the rest of the team wore. It'll mean a $3 million loss to the school.
Wow.
Man, how about that? Can't believe, I don't know. There are both sides of that bother me. You know what I
There's nothing
mean?
that doesn't bother me about that.
I
That's
mean,
ridiculous.
Well, it is. And you know what, Ralph? Quite honestly, a lot that's gone on in athletics today with that kind of stuff is ludicrous. I mean, it really and truly is. It's trickled down to the high school level where you're wearing different uniforms. And, I can tell you, the schools that I deal with, St. X has an Adidas deal. Coleraine has had Nike and Adidas, if I'm not mistaken. Mostly, I think Nike. Elders got Under Armour. They're all making their, Under Armour's made a huge push. They got the Under Armour football line. Some of their commercials are pretty good. Some of the Under Armour spots. I must say, I still laugh, and we've talked about the Geico and they're pretty
those
good.
are great.
Saw the Elmer Fudd. All my kids stopped to watch the Elmer Fudd.
No, just the guy up front.
But you know what is funny?
gravitas.
You know, it's interesting. The topics that they've picked, like Ed Too Tall Jones, all of my kids, who's Ed Too Tall? You know, so for that's kind of back in the Dallas Cowboy heyday.
Yeah,
and
but
the
they're
Charlie
playing to the
Daniel,
people who buy
all the
insurance.
ads, right? Oh, they are,
yeah.
but the ads are conversational enough
Yeah.
that even
The Charlie
my
Daniels one is spectacular.
yes, the Elmer
it's my
Fudd,
favorite.
the Elmer Fudd one's pretty
They're all
too.
good.
They are good.
Every one of them's good. And the one that I haven't been able to find on YouTube that I saw over the weekend or over the last week is that Bud Light, Too Heavy. Where the guy
I was going to say the one you asked about. I haven't
the
seen
guy
that
comes
either.
to the backyard party and he walks in the gate and he goes, "Hi everybody," and nobody does anything.
Yeah, I haven't seen that one yet.
And then the next thing you know, it says "Too Light," and then he comes rolling in over the fence in a monster truck with a paper mache head of himself. The tongue rolls out, sparklers go off, and he comes out of the mouth.
Now, have you
So
seen?
damn funny.
Have you seen the Too Light, Too Heavy, the paintball one?
Yeah,
that's pretty good.
You know what though? I have mixed emotions about that one.
You do.
Yeah, because it's just it's maybe this is me being overly sensitive, and I've been on a big soldier kick, but the war angle on it.
Well, let me tell you something.
You know, the
You know what?
shooting and the airstrike and the whole
It's
thing. I
funny-
don't know why that one kind of rubbed me the wrong way.
It's funny you say that. You know, I was watching on Sunday night the Football Night in America on NBC, and they were at the desk where it was Olbermann, Patrick, and they had Dungy, and where Tony Dungy made the reference to. They were asking him specifically about, you know, the Colts being able to turn it off and turn it back on, etc. I cannot stand any athletic reference of a game
Being a
to
war.
war.
Yeah.
And Dungy made that about how, you know, they've been through what? No, they haven't.
No.
And you know, and I realize, believe me, maybe I'm the same way you are in that vein. I realize it's just a figure of speech.
Yeah.
But come
It's not
on.
an appropriate metaphor,
No,
frankly,
it is
now.
not.
Particularly now, when we're involved in
Correct.
two wars and so on and so
Well,
forth.
particularly now when, you know, almost weekly, sadly, some of our soldiers are killed.
Yeah. Well, that was the night I was watching that. And Keith Olbermann, you know, he's got to go away, too. I'm so tired of him. But he even weirded out Dan Patrick on. They were talking about Destiny. Did you hear him? He did some sort of thing about Destiny, and Dan Patrick just sat and looked at him, not unlike you and I do to each other every once in a while. I just looked at him and then kind of turned to the camera like, I don't know what's going on here right
Well,
now.
you know what? You
Olbermann's
know
nuts,
what's
I think.
funny about Olbermann? He
was a great sports guy
he
on
was
ESPN,
tremendous.
but now he's just
Well, the problem is, it's all, you know, guys like that, honestly, Ralph, it's all ego. You know, there was a day when I thought Chris Berman was fantastic. He's now become a cartoon character.
yeah,
clown.
he's been done, I think,
Well, I
for
can tell
5
you,
or 10 years.
I know some people who've worked for ESPN. He is an ass.
That's what I've heard.
He is an absolute grade A. Some of the outtakes of him.
Well, we've heard a few.
Oh, we
Remember?
heard. Jesus.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
what
He is
that's him.
you know, Patrick's got a big ego. You know, he's from Mason. You know, I mean, he went to UD.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, and I think, don't you agree with this a little bit, though? Even people on your nightly news, whatever. I think even those who are very talented, when they get that ego that I'm bigger than the news I'm delivering, and that's Olbermann. He tries to fire out every single line as witty. Just give me the I mean, it's football night in America, dude. I don't need your political theories in
and
there.
I can take Patrick on TV, but his radio show, he's trying too hard to be
Let me tell
something
you
he's not.
The word, and I know,
You know,
there's a
with all the
faction.
different guys sitting around him and
Ralph,
doing all that, and the playing
speaking
basketball,
of that,
the TV version of it.
I know that there is a faction of people who like this guy. I have not, nor will I ever get Jim Rome.
See, I've come to like Rome. I didn't like him at first. He cracked me up yesterday. He said something, and I was literally laughing out loud.
But let
in
me
my
tell you
car.
why I don't.
Sister was in commercial.
He talks to
Yeah.
you like I'm in some lingoed 8-year-old stupid
But
ass.
see, you have to get,
club.
once you get in that, then it makes sense. That's what somebody told me. He said, bear with it for a couple of weeks. You'll figure out what's going on. I mean, he treats his audience like they're idiots, but they feed off of it.
They do, and most
They
of them
feed
are.
off of it. But he had a couple of takes, if you will.
Oh, God.
The thing, he has created his own lexicon, which at least I'll give him credit for his own. Now everybody else is trying to do that, but you know, when I hear people fill in for people and they try to replicate that,
Yeah,
drives me
it's
nuts.
terrible.
I love the thing he does where he interviews a player that he tells him he did a good job on the interview.
Well, when I fill in for
What the
JD, I
hell?
usually chit chat a lot.
Do you chit chat?
Have you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you ever heard Phil Hendry's Jim Rome?
Yeah.
Oh, it's fantastic. I don't know. No, you're right. I mean, there's no question.
Guys who have innovated to a degree. I can.
Well, I'll give you that. I mean, I just, you know what?
I don't like his TV show. That's his
not very
the
good.
Rome is
Yeah,
burning
it's not
thing.
very
I don't
good.
like
Oh,
it.
I can't watch that.
Seeing him makes me think he's
But you know what, Ralph?
unbearable versus just
Watching him
listening.
makes me nervous.
There are some guys
I don't like
there
it.
are some people who, and this goes either way. There's some TV people who are terrible on radio, and there are radio people